knowing him don't want to have a kid already upset me. I just feel like I'm just so mad every time I just think about it. Maybe if we have a kid, it will make our relationship go strong.
That's the worst idea you ever had in your entire life.
Awesome! If there's one thing that we've learned about James and Tata on this new The Other Way season, it's that they don't know what the heck they are doing, and their story is completely all over the place. When we first met Tata, she had claimed to have a lot of medical issues since moving to the US, and the plan was for her to go back to Indonesia to find some help for her ailments. But then once she got there, she was magically cured of all of them.
For now, I take the herbal drink and medication from the doctor. The swollen is getting smaller, and I feel so much better.
And then her husband James was right behind her. He was willing to leave his steady income to follow her in her quest to feel better, while also having this really annoying habit of avoiding telling people things. He did this with his own family, who he worked for, by waiting to tell them last minute that he was moving out of the country. He also did this with Tata, when he told her they needed to leave their dog behind right before she left for Indonesia, which I'm still sad about, poor dog. And now we're watching him do this again with yet another important issue: having kids. And you may have had the same reaction to the phrase having kids that I did when this came up. I mean, we've seen Tata have a major breakdown, cry consistently through the season so far, and on top of that, she's said she's had these ongoing medical issues. So why the fuck are we even talking about them having kids, you ask? I have absolutely no idea what that is Tata's main focus right now. I think that is the last thing that she should be worrying about, since, you know, they don't have jobs, they don't really have a real place to live yet, and they have debt they don't know what to do with back in the US. But here we are. And that's what their story in the last 2 episodes has shifted to. We did see Tata in an earlier episode tell her friend that she was moving away, and somehow it came up that her friend had been told by James that he doesn't want kids. So Tata did, of course, what she does a lot of on this show. She cries. But she does not bring the issue up to James before she goes to Indonesia. I think somewhat because he has a pattern of liking to avoid all conflict. Instead, here they are now in Indonesia together, moving into her parents' house. And James is still not really on board with this. He would like to get a job, support them, and then be in their own place. But after Tata's full-on breakdown when she told her parents that they were moving back to Indonesia, he seems like for now he's just going along with this.
After all the work we've done to the room, I'm feeling super exhausted, but right now it still feels a little bit weird being here with her parents right beside us.
But this has been Tata's plan all along though, right? When she had that breakdown and told her parents she was moving back, she kept saying she didn't want to burden them, and that's why she was crying. But I think that Tata has shown that she's not very mature, and she wanted her parents to solve all of their issues, like their debt in the US. Some people watching might not agree with me on that, but I think she wants her parents to solve her problems because her parents said that they would pay their debt back in the US, when James said that he did not want them to pay their debt.
They can help us with paying the car.
I don't want them to help us
I
with
know,
that.
I did tell them.
And she straight up lied to James. He doesn't want her parents to help, and she's saying that she told her parents that, when she did not. It was a straight up lie. She never told her parents not to pay their debt. She just broke down and started kissing her mom's feet. So that, of course, made me suspicious as to what Tata's real motives are here. I do think that she is manipulative with her tears like Mary, but like I've said before, I don't think that she is evil like Mary. So my thinking is that her overall goal, her agenda, is that she wants to be in Indonesia with her family and James. That's her end goal. And she's willing to do whatever it takes to get James to agree to that. And what better way to get James to stay than to have a baby? Because babies fix everything, right? No. So they are settled in, moved into her parents' house, at least for now. And now James is getting these hinting statements from Tata's parents.
Ini Jim besok kalau udah punya anak kayak begini.
One day when you have a kid, it'll be like this.
Her whole family is like, have kids soon, please. Well, I'm over here wondering, weren't we just worried about Tata's health? Because her family isn't saying anything about that. They seem to really think that this is a great idea. And of course, Tata is all teary-eyed and remembers that James told her friend he didn't want to have kids.
Seeing James playing with my nephew is like seeing our future if we have a kid.
but her parents don't know that, and he doesn't know that she knows that. And this came up again, finally. So I was suspicious because Tata's health hadn't come up since an earlier episode, and I thought that that was the main reason they came back to Indonesia, her health. But when she does spend the day with her sister, they do talk about how she was diagnosed with hyperthyroidism. I thought that her having a diagnosis would make me less suspicious, but it doesn't. I don't know how she couldn't get that diagnosis in the US. It's a blood test, and she could get medication in the US to treat it there. It makes me think even more that a lot of her issues were more related to her mental health than her physical health, especially since her sister is just like, oh, just make sure your body stays healthy so you can carry a baby. Like her health wasn't that much of a concern. And also, isn't Tata the baby at this point? Like, goodness, has there been one scene here of her not crying? So she tells her sister that James said he doesn't want a kid. So her sister's like, okay, find a time to talk to him about it. I mean, duh. So that's what she does while they're walking around the beach with a metal detector.
So I had a talk with Adele
Yeah?
before I left. You don't want to have a kid?
And to give her some credit, this guy does not seem to make having serious conversations easy. So I can kind of see why she's had trouble bringing it up.
I'm kind of a little upset that she said that. I don't know, that's kind of strange to just like throw at me out of nowhere. I wasn't like really ready for that conversation.
He does apologize for talking to her friend about it and not her directly, but his lack of eye contact and nervousness, it's so strange to me. Like his body language just doesn't tell me that these two are married. Not dating, married. James really seems to be an avoider, but we do know that he has his own reasons for not wanting kids. No one needs to have kids, especially if they don't want kids. And I actually agree with his next statement.
I can't give them a great life. I don't even know if I can take care of us here.
This should really not even be a conversation at this point. But I think that Tata knows that having kids will keep them in Indonesia. They will have support they need from family. Her parents and sisters would help them. They have said they don't really have a whole lot of support back in the US. But the fact that we have already been seeing Tata struggle so much mentally, adding a whole kid to that, it's not going to make her cry less.
So maybe we have a kid, it will make our relationship so strong.
No! You are already the kid, Tata. A baby will not fix any of this. I see the strategy here, though. A baby would make James stay in Indonesia. I can also see why she wants this question answered. Maybe not right now, but does he want kids at all? Because she does say that they did agree early on to have kids. Things changed. I can see how no answer is the answer being frustrating. But I still agree with James here.
But I don't believe that we need to have a child to make our relationship stronger. I mean, I love you.
Her only rebuttal is that, oh, having a kid will be fun. It will just be a little us running around. But adding this on right now to the fact that they can't even support themselves is wild.
Sapa and Shekinah want to remind you to subscribe to the Kiblz channel. If you don't, Sapa will appear and give you an exotic AI-generated dance.
That mother is not real.
Once we've got our feet underneath us, I'll be able to start thinking further down the road.
I don't want to wait and hope forever.
They have a lot to figure out. This is not something to worry about yet. And it looks like on a future episode, they're not even still talking about this. Instead, James and Tata are starting to have some drama with her family.
Tata's sister spread some malicious lies about me.
I'm still not really sure where their story is going. It's like there's some different issue every few episodes, and then the issue just disappears, and then there's a new issue, and the other one never gets resolved completely. It's a mess. It's all over the place, isn't it? So the jumping around from one issue to another, I think that's how the rest of their story is going to continue. So let me know what you think about this couple. I still don't like either of them, but I kind of get both sides at this point. Tata wants an answer. James doesn't have one. James doesn't have an answer because they're not in a stable place to make any decisions right now. I don't know. Comment below what you think. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye!